Welcome to Easy English Talks podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast. I am happy to have you here today. Thank you for choosing this podcast to practice your English. In every episode, we learn something new, and we learn English at the same time. So take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy the journey. Today, we are going to talk about a very simple idea, but a very powerful one. The idea is you become what you think. Maybe you have heard this sentence before. Maybe it sounds a little strange or a little too simple, but it is actually one of the most important ideas in life. This idea means that your thoughts shape who you are. What you think again and again becomes your attitude, your actions, and even your future. For example, if you think I can learn English, you will try more, you will practice more, and you will improve. But if you think I will never learn English, you may stop trying and you won't grow. So the thoughts you choose every day can change your life. This topic is very important for English learners, especially for you. Many people feel shy, nervous, or scared when they speak a new language. They think they are not good enough or that they will make mistakes. But learning a language always begins in the mind. If your thoughts are negative, learning becomes difficult. If your thoughts are positive and strong, learning becomes exciting and possible. That is why understanding how your mind works can help you improve faster and feel more confident. In this episode, we will learn what the sentence "you become what you think" really means. We will look at how your thoughts can help you or stop you. You will also learn how to choose better thoughts and how to train your mind every day. I will share easy examples and simple tips that you can start using right after this podcast. So stay with me, listen carefully, and let your mind open to new ideas. Let's begin this journey together on English Podcast. What does "you become what you think" mean? The phrase, "you become what you think," means that your thoughts have a strong influence on your life. It means that your mind is like a small seed. Whatever you plant inside it will grow. If you plant positive thoughts, you grow confidence, hope, and good actions. If you plant negative thoughts, you grow fear, doubt, and habits that do not help you. Many people think that life changes from the outside, but actually, many changes begin inside the mind. When you understand this idea, you begin to see how powerful your thoughts really are. To understand this more clearly, imagine you wake up in the morning and think, "Today will be a good day." This simple thought can make you smile, move with more energy, and speak more kindly to people. You may try new things, or you may work a little harder because you expect something good. But if you wake up and think, "Today will be terrible," your body feels tired, your face looks worried, and you may not want to talk to anyone. You might avoid challenges or stop yourself from trying. These two mornings are very different, and the difference comes only from one thought. This shows how powerful even a small thought can be. Your thoughts also influence your feelings. For example, the thought "I am not good at English" can make you feel sad, embarrassed, or stressed. When you feel this way, you may not want to practice, and you might avoid speaking in class. But if you change the thought to "I am learning English step by step," you feel lighter and more hopeful. This feeling makes you try again, listen more carefully, and speak with more confidence. So your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings shape your actions. Over time, these actions become your habits, and your habits build your future. To make this idea even more clear, imagine a young girl named Sarah. Sarah wants to learn how to play the guitar. On the first day, she tries to play a few notes, but they sound wrong. She thinks, "I am bad at this." Because of this thought, she stops practicing and feels disappointed. 1 week later, she sees her friend Leo playing the guitar happily. Leo also made mistakes at the beginning, but he kept thinking, if I practice a little every day, I will get better. Because of this thought, he practiced for only 10 minutes each day, but he improved slowly. After 2 months, Leo can play simple songs, while Sarah still believes she cannot learn. Their skill is different, not because Leo is smarter, but because their thoughts were different. Sarah became her negative thought, and Leo became his positive thought. This simple story shows how thinking creates different paths in life. When you believe something is possible, you act in a way that moves you forward. When you believe something is impossible, you act in a way that holds you back. The mind is like a guide. If it gives you helpful directions, you move closer to your goals. If it gives you confusing or negative directions, you get lost or stuck. So when we say you become what you think, we mean that your thoughts guide your future, shape your actions, and build the person you become little by little. As you listen to this podcast, try to notice your thoughts. Which thoughts help you? Which thoughts stop you? When you pay attention to your thinking, you gain the power to choose better thoughts. And when you choose better thoughts, you begin to create a better version of yourself. This idea may seem simple, but it can change your life in a very real and powerful way. The power of positive thoughts. Positive thoughts are thoughts that support you, help you, and make you feel stronger. They are thoughts that give you hope and make you believe that good things are possible. Positive thoughts do not mean pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, they mean choosing to focus on solutions, on learning, and on the good things that can happen. A positive thought can be as simple as I can try again. I am getting better, or this is difficult, but I can learn it. These small thoughts may look simple, but they can change the way you feel and the way you live. Positive thoughts affect your daily life in many ways. When you think in a positive way, your mind becomes more open. You become more willing to try new things because you believe you can improve. You also feel more calm, patient, and confident. This helps your body relax and gives you more energy. Even your relationships can become better because positive thoughts help you speak more kindly and listen more carefully. With positive thinking, everyday life becomes easier to handle. Problems feel smaller, and challenges feel more like chances to grow. You can see the power of positive thoughts in simple, real-life situations. For example, imagine you are learning English and you make a mistake while speaking. One person might think, I am so bad at English, I should stop talking. This thought makes them quiet and afraid. But another person might think, it's okay. Mistakes help me learn. This positive thought makes them smile, try again, and improve faster. Both people made the same mistake, but their thoughts created two different outcomes. Another example is when you are tired after a long day. If you think I have no energy and everything is difficult, your body becomes heavier and you lose motivation. But if you think I am tired but I can do one small thing, suddenly the task feels lighter. You may clean the room for 5 minutes, read 1 page, or practice English for just 10 minutes. A small positive thought helps you take a small step, and small steps build success over time. Positive thoughts matter because they shape your inner world. They help you stay strong even when life is stressful or confusing. When you choose positive thoughts, you choose a better attitude, and your attitude guides your actions. This is important for learning, for work, and for relationships. Positive thoughts also help you recover faster from mistakes or failures. Instead of giving up, you learn to try again. Instead of feeling angry or scared, you learn to stay calm and patient. Choosing positive thoughts does not happen automatically. It is something you practice every day, just like learning a language. At first, it may feel strange or difficult. Your mind may still bring negative thoughts, but with practice, you learn to catch them and replace them with better ones. The more you practice, the stronger your positive thinking becomes. It becomes like a friendly voice in your mind that supports you and helps you grow. When you listen to this podcast, remember that positive thoughts are not just nice ideas. They are powerful tools. They help you move forward, learn faster, and become the person you want to be. Positive thinking does not change your life in one day, but it changes your life slowly, step by step, moment by moment. And when you look back, you will see how far your positive thoughts have taken you. The problem with negative thoughts are ideas in your mind that make you feel weak, scared, or not good enough. They are thoughts that focus on problems instead of possibilities. Negative thoughts often say things like, "I can't do this," "I always fail," or "other people are better than me." These thoughts can appear very quickly, sometimes without you even noticing them. They usually come from fear, past mistakes, or low confidence. Everyone has negative thoughts sometimes, but the problem begins when we start to believe them and allow them to control our actions. Negative thoughts hold us back in many ways. When you think negatively, your mind becomes closed. You stop trying new things because you expect something bad to happen. You avoid opportunities because you believe you are not ready or not good enough. Negative thinking also makes you feel tired and stressed. It takes away your motivation and your energy. Instead of moving forward, you stay in the same place, or sometimes you even move backward. This is one of the biggest dangers of negative thinking. It stops you from growing. You can see negative thoughts clearly in everyday life. Imagine you want to speak English with someone, but before you open your mouth, a thought appears. "I will make a mistake, and they will laugh at me." This is a negative thought. Because of this thought, you stay silent. Another example is when you want to start exercising, but you think, "I am too lazy. I never continue." You feel discouraged, and because of that, you do not even try. Or maybe you want to study, but the thought, "I am not smart," makes you close your book. All these examples show how negative thinking stops you from taking action. Negative thinking also changes your behavior in a very powerful way. When your mind is filled with negative thoughts, your body reacts to them, your shoulders drop, your voice becomes quiet, and your face looks worried. Your brain becomes more alert to danger even when there is no real danger. This makes you nervous and uncomfortable. Because of these feelings, you may avoid people, avoid challenges, and avoid opportunities. Slowly, negative thoughts become negative habits, and negative habits shape your life in a negative direction. For example, imagine a boy named Daniel. Daniel wants to learn how to swim, but he once had a bad experience in the water. Now, every time he thinks about swimming, he hears a negative voice in his mind saying, "You will sink. You cannot do it." Because he listens to this voice, he never tries again. Years pass, and he still believes he cannot swim. The truth is, he could learn if he practiced with a teacher, but his negative thoughts created a wall in his mind. This wall stopped him more than the water ever did. This is the power of negative thinking. It makes problems look bigger than they really are. It makes challenges feel impossible even when they are not. It can also affect your relationships. When you think negatively, you may believe that people do not like you or that they are judging you. This belief can make you act shy, cold, or distant. Then people may actually stop talking to you, which makes your negative thought feel true even though it started in your mind. Negative thoughts are like dark clouds. They block the light and make the world look gray. But the truth is, These clouds are not permanent. Just as clouds move away, negative thoughts can also change. The first step is to notice them. The second step is to understand that they are only thoughts, not facts. Once you start to question them, they lose their power. As you follow this podcast, try to observe when negative thoughts appear in your mind. You do not need to fight them, but you can look at them carefully and ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helping me? When you do this, you take the first step to freeing yourself from the limits that negative thoughts create. And once you remove those limits, your life can open in many new and positive ways. How thoughts shape our feelings. Our thoughts and our emotions are closely connected. Many people think feelings just appear on their own, but in reality, most feelings start with a thought. When you think something positive, your body and mind respond with warm, comfortable emotions. When you think something negative, your body reacts with stress, fear, or sadness. This is why understanding your thoughts is so important. If you learn to guide your thoughts, you can guide your feelings too. Positive thoughts usually bring positive emotions. For example, when you think, I can learn this, you feel hopeful and open. Your body feels lighter, your heart feels calm, and your mind becomes more focused. You feel ready to take action because your thought gave you confidence. Positive thoughts often create feelings like happiness, motivation, peace, and excitement. Even a small positive thought can change your mood for the entire day. It is like a small light in your mind that makes everything else easier to see. Negative thoughts, on the other hand, often bring negative emotions. When you think, I am not good enough, you may feel nervous or sad. Your body becomes tense, your shoulders tighten, and your breath becomes shorter. A negative thought like I will fail can make you feel worried before you even try. Negative thoughts often lead to feelings such as fear, anger, shame, or disappointment. These feelings can be very strong and sometimes they stay with you for a long time, but they started with just one thought. You can see the power of thoughts in simple moments of daily life. Imagine you are walking into your English class. Before you enter, one thought goes through your mind, I am going to make mistakes today. Immediately, you feel nervous and shy. You sit quietly and try not to speak. But imagine the same situation with a different thought. It's okay to make mistakes. I am here to learn. With this thought, you feel calmer, more relaxed, and more open to speaking. The class is the same. The teacher is the same. The students are the same. Only your thoughts are different. And because your thoughts changed, your emotions changed too. Another example is when you wake up in the morning. If the first thought in your mind is today is going to be so hard, your feelings will match that thought. You may feel tired before you even get out of bed. But if your first thought is, I will do my best today, your body feels more energetic and your mind feels clearer. The morning becomes easier, not because the day changed, but because your thoughts changed the way you felt. Thoughts are like glasses you wear. If the glasses are dark, the world looks dark. If the glasses are clear, the world looks brighter. The world outside does not change. Your thoughts do, and your feelings follow. So as you listen to this episode, try to pay attention to your thoughts during the day. Notice how a single thought can create an emotion in just a few seconds. When you understand this connection, you gain the ability to choose better thoughts. And when you choose better thoughts, you create better feelings. This is one of the strongest skills you can learn, not only for language learning, but also for life. How thoughts shape our actions. Our thoughts do more than influence our feelings. They also guide our actions. Every choice we make begins with a thought. When you believe something is possible, you are more likely to act. When you believe something is impossible, you may stop before you even start. This is why understanding how thoughts shape actions is very important. Thoughts are like a map for your behavior. They tell your mind which direction to go, and your actions follow that direction. Thinking in a confident way can lead to positive actions. For example, imagine a student named Maria who wants to speak English with her classmates. If Maria thinks, "I can do this. I just need to try," she feels brave and prepared. Because of this thought, she raises her hand, speaks in class, and practices every day. Her actions are guided by her positive thinking. She may make mistakes, but she keeps going, and over time, her English improves. Her repeated actions build good habits, and these habits create real success. Now imagine another student, Tom, in the same classroom. Tom thinks, "I am not good at English. I will embarrass myself." This negative thought makes him feel nervous and shy. He avoids speaking, does not practice much, and stops trying new words because his thoughts are unsure and negative. His actions are limited. He may want to improve, but his thinking stops him. Over time, his repeated actions or lack of action create habits that hold him back. This example shows that your thinking can guide your behavior in very real ways. Repeated thoughts are especially powerful because they become habits. A habit is something you do automatically, almost without thinking. If you repeatedly think, "I am capable," you naturally take actions that show your capability. If you repeatedly think, "I cannot do it," you avoid actions that could help you. This is why people often say, your thoughts become your reality. Your repeated thoughts create patterns in your life. When positive thoughts repeat, they create positive actions and habits. When negative thoughts repeat, they create limiting actions and habits. You can see this in small, daily situations. For example, if you wake up every day thinking, "I will exercise today," you are more likely to put on your shoes and move your body. After a few weeks, exercise becomes a habit. But if your thought is, "I am too tired to exercise," your actions will reflect that. And exercise may never become a habit. The same principle works for learning English, studying, working, or even being kind to others. Your actions are a reflection of your thoughts repeated over time. Understanding this connection gives you power. You can start by noticing your thoughts and choosing the ones that lead to positive actions. You do not need to change all your thinking at once. Start with one thought, one choice, or one action. When you practice this regularly, your behavior changes naturally and good habits grow. As you follow this episode of English Podcast, remember this important idea. Your thoughts are the starting point for every action you take. If you guide your thoughts carefully, your actions will follow, and little by little, your life will change for the better. The mind leads and the actions follow. By understanding this, you can take control of your habits, your learning, and your future. How your thoughts shape your habits. Our thoughts do not just influence our feelings or actions. They also create our habits. A habit is something we do automatically without thinking much. It is like a routine our mind and body follow every day. Habits are built slowly over time, and the starting point for every habit is a thought. This is why people often say, "Change your thoughts, change your life." The way we think today can become the way we act tomorrow, and repeated actions become habits that shape our future. To understand this, it helps to look at the connection between thoughts, actions, and habits. Every habit begins with a thought. A thought tells your mind what to do. Then you act based on that thought. When you repeat the same thought and action over time, your body and mind begin to do it automatically. This is what we call the thought loop. It is like a circle. You think, you act. Your action becomes a habit, and the habit strengthens your thinking. Then the habit supports your next thought, and the circle continues. This loop can work positively or negatively, depending on the thoughts you choose. Let's look at an example with studying. Imagine a student named Amina. Every morning she thinks, I want to learn English today. Because of this thought, she opens her notebook, practices vocabulary for 15 minutes, and listens to English podcasts. At first, this is a small action, but she repeats it every day. After a few weeks, studying English becomes a habit. She no longer needs to force herself because her mind has learned that practicing is normal. This habit began with a single positive thought repeated through consistent action. Now imagine another student, Jamal, who thinks I am too tired to study every morning. Because of this thought, he does not open his book and spends the time on his phone instead. After several weeks, not studying becomes his habit. He wanted to learn, but his repeated negative thought guided his actions in the opposite direction. Over time, Jamal's habit strengthens the negative thought, and the thought loop keeps him stuck. This example shows how the thoughts we choose at the start can create habits that either help us or hold us back. Exercise is another area where the thought loop is very clear. If someone thinks I want to be healthy, so I will move my body, they might start walking for 10 minutes every day. At first, it feels small, but repeating the action makes it easier and automatic. After some weeks, the body expects this exercise every day, and the person develops a healthy habit. On the other hand, if someone thinks exercise is too hard for me, they avoid moving your body. The habit of avoiding exercise grows, and negative thoughts about health or fitness get stronger. This shows that our thoughts have the power to guide even small daily behaviors into long-term habits. Confidence is another great example. If you repeatedly think, I can try new things, you will gradually take more action, speak up more often, and face challenges without fear. Over time, your behavior reflects confidence, and people see you as a confident person. But if you constantly think, I will fail, I am not good enough, your behavior becomes cautious, quiet, or fearful. You may avoid challenges, and others see you as someone who doubts themselves. In both cases, your repeated thoughts create a habit, and the habit strengthens the thought loop. Thinking shapes behavior, and behavior reinforces thinking. The thought loop works in many areas of life, not just studying, exercising, or confidence. It works in how we speak, how we respond to problems, how we treat other people, and how we manage stress. Positive thoughts repeated through consistent actions create positive habits. Negative thoughts repeated through consistent actions create negative habits. The key is to start noticing your thoughts and choosing the ones that guide you in the right direction. You do not need to change everything at once. Start with one small thought, one small action, and let the habit grow slowly. A practical way to use the thought loop is to write down one positive thought each morning. For example, today I will take one small step to learn English, then take one small action that matches that thought. Over time, these repeated thoughts and actions will become automatic habits. You will notice that you act without thinking, and your mind naturally supports positive behaviors. This is the power of the thought loop. Small, simple thoughts repeated consistently create big changes over time. Remember this: your mind is like a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds, your actions are the water, and your habits are the plants that grow. Choose your thoughts carefully. Nurture them with action, and watch the habits in your life grow strong. With practice, the thought loop will work for you, not against you. and you will begin to see real progress in learning English, health, confidence, and every part of your life. Types of thoughts that help us grow. Not all thoughts are the same. Some thoughts hold us back, and some thoughts help us grow. When we want to improve our life, our English, our habits, or our confidence, we need to focus on the types of thoughts that help us grow. These are thoughts that give us strength, motivation, and hope. They support our actions and guide us toward positive habits. Understanding these thoughts is very important because they can change the way we feel, act, and live every day. The first type of helpful thought is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is when you speak kindly to yourself inside your mind. It is the way you encourage yourself instead of criticizing yourself. For example, instead of thinking, "I am terrible at English," you can say, "I am learning English step by step, and I improve every day." Instead of, "I can't do it," you can think, "I will try my best, and I will learn from mistakes." Positive self-talk helps you feel confident and motivated. It is like having a supportive friend in your mind who always encourages you to keep going. The second type of helpful thought is a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can improve with effort and practice. People with a growth mindset do not think their skills are fixed. They think, "I may not know this now, but I can learn it." For example, if a student struggles with English grammar, a growth mindset thought would be, "I will practice and I will understand it better soon." This thought helps the student take action instead of giving up. A growth mindset helps you face challenges and learn from mistakes because you believe improvement is always possible. The third type of helpful thought is hopeful and helpful thinking. Hopeful thoughts focus on possibilities, solutions, and better outcomes. Helpful thoughts guide you to take actions that improve your life. For example, if you feel nervous about speaking English in front of your class, a hopeful and helpful thought would be, "I may make mistakes, but I will learn from them, and each time I speak, I get better." Instead of giving up, you feel motivated to try, even if it is just a small step. Hopeful and helpful thoughts give you energy and courage to move forward, even when situations are difficult. You can see these types of thoughts in daily life. Imagine a student, Sarah, who wants to improve her English listening skills. If Sarah thinks, "I can never understand English speakers," she will avoid listening exercises and her skills will not improve. But if she uses positive self-talk, growth mindset, and hopeful thinking, she might think, "I am learning a little every day. It is okay if I do not understand everything now, and each time I listen, I get better." Because of these thoughts, she starts practicing every day, listens carefully, and slowly improves her listening skills. The right types of thoughts create actions that lead to real progress. Another simple example is exercising. If someone thinks, "I will never enjoy exercise," they may stop after one day. But if they think, "I will try a little today, and I will feel stronger tomorrow," or even 5 minutes of movement is good for me, they are using positive, hopeful, and helpful thoughts. These thoughts make small actions easier, and repeated actions slowly create a healthy habit. As you listen to this episode of English Podcast, remember that the thoughts you choose every day are very powerful. Positive self-talk, a growth mindset, and hopeful, helpful thoughts are the seeds of growth. When you practice these thoughts consistently, you feel stronger, act more confidently, and slowly build habits that help you succeed in learning English and in life. Choosing the right thoughts is like giving your mind the best tools to grow and improve every day. Types of thoughts that stop us. Just as some thoughts help us grow, other thoughts can stop us from moving forward. These are thoughts that create fear, doubt, or self-criticism. They are often called negative thoughts, and they can block progress in learning, work, relationships, and personal growth. Understanding these thoughts is very important because once you see them clearly, you can learn to replace them with better, helpful thoughts. The first type of thought that stops us is negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is when you speak unkindly to yourself inside your mind. For example, if you make a mistake while speaking English and think, "I am terrible at this," you are using negative self-talk. Instead of encouraging yourself to try again, you feel embarrassed or frustrated. This type of thought lowers confidence and makes you less likely to take action. When negative self-talk happens often, it can create a habit of giving up before you even start. The second type is doubt and fear. Doubt is when you question your ability to do something, and fear is when you imagine bad outcomes. For example, if a student thinks, "I will fail my English test," they may feel too nervous to study properly. Fear can make you avoid challenges, even small ones. Doubt and fear make the mind focus on problems instead of solutions, and they create hesitation. This stops learning and progress because you do not act on your goals. The third type is "I can't" thinking. This is when you believe something is impossible for you before even trying. Thoughts like, "I can't speak English well," "I can't exercise," or "I can't learn new things" are very powerful blockers. When you think "I can't," your brain prepares your body to stop. You may avoid practice, give up quickly, or do very little effort. Over time, repeated "I can't" thinking becomes a habit, and your actions reflect these negative beliefs. You may want progress, but your thoughts create invisible walls that hold you back. We can see these types of thoughts clearly in everyday life. For example, a student named Ali wants to practice speaking English in class. If he thinks "I am going to make a fool of myself," he may stay silent. If he thinks "I cannot speak correctly," he may not even try to form a sentence. If he repeats these thoughts daily, he develops a habit of avoiding speaking. His skills remain the same because his thoughts are stopping him. In contrast, students with helpful, positive thoughts take small steps every day, and their actions slowly create improvement. Another example is learning a new skill like playing an instrument. If someone thinks "I can't learn this," it is too hard. They will stop practicing after the first few mistakes. But if they replace this thought with something positive like "I can improve if I practice a little every day," they keep trying. This shows that negative thoughts block action. But changing your thinking opens the door to progress. When negative self-talk, doubt, fear, or "I can't" thoughts appear in your mind, recognizing these thoughts is the first step to stopping them from controlling your actions. Once you become aware, you can choose better thoughts that help you move forward, build habits, and achieve your goals. Negative thinking does not have to control your life. It can be replaced with positive, helpful thinking. One step at a time. How to change your thoughts. Changing your thoughts is one of the most powerful ways to improve your life, your confidence, and your learning. The good news is that it is possible even if your mind is full of negative thinking right now. Thoughts are not fixed. With practice, you can replace negative thoughts with positive, helpful ones. Changing your thinking may take time, but small steps every day create real results. There are simple techniques anyone can use to start this process. One of the easiest ways to change your thoughts is through positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is when you speak kindly to yourself inside your mind. Every time a negative thought appears, you can replace it with a positive one. For example, if you think "I am bad at English," you can change it to "I am learning English every day and I improve little by little." Or if you think "I will fail," You can say, I will try my best and learn from mistakes. Positive self-talk does not need to be long or complicated. Even a short, encouraging sentence can make a big difference. The more you repeat positive self-talk, the more your mind begins to believe it, and your feelings and actions begin to change. Another helpful technique is gratitude. Gratitude means focusing on the good things in your life instead of what is missing. Every day, take a moment to think about 3 things you are grateful for. They can be simple things like a sunny morning, a kind teacher, or a friend who helped you. Gratitude changes your focus from problems to possibilities. For example, a student who feels nervous about speaking English can think, I am grateful for this opportunity to practice, or I am grateful for the small progress I made today. Gratitude creates positive emotions and helps you feel stronger and more confident. Visualization is another powerful technique. Visualization is when you imagine yourself achieving your goals. You create a picture in your mind of success as if it is already happening. For example, if you want to speak English confidently in class, close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking clearly, smiling, and enjoying the conversation. If you want to run faster or exercise more, imagine yourself finishing the run with energy and pride. Visualization trains your mind to believe it is possible, and this belief motivates your actions. It is like giving your brain a rehearsal for success. Another important technique is replacing negative thoughts. Negative thoughts appear automatically, but you can stop them and replace them with helpful thoughts. First, notice the negative thought like, I cannot do this. Second question, is this really true? Is it helping me? Third, replace it with a positive or realistic thought like, I may find it difficult, but I can learn if I try. For example, a student who feels nervous about reading English aloud may think, I will make mistakes. By replacing it with, mistakes help me learn and I can do better next time. The student can try reading without fear. Replacing negative thoughts slowly changes your mind, your feelings, and your actions over time. Let's look at all these techniques together in a simple daily example. Imagine a student, Lena, wants to practice English speaking every day. The first negative thought appears, I will speak badly and people will laugh at me. Using positive self-talk, she changes it to, I am learning and improving every day. Using gratitude, she thinks, I am grateful for this chance to practice and learn. Using visualization, she imagines herself speaking confidently in class and feeling proud. Finally, she actively replaces the negative thought with helpful thinking. Mistakes are okay. I can improve if I try. Because of these techniques, Lena feels more confident, takes action, and slowly builds a positive habit of speaking English every day. Changing your thoughts may feel strange at first because your mind is used to old habits. It is okay if it takes time. Start small with one thought, one sentence, or one visualization each day. Practice positive self-talk, gratitude, visualization, and replacing negative thoughts regularly. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the more your mind naturally supports you instead of holding you back. As you listen to this episode of English Podcast, remember that your thoughts are powerful tools. By learning to guide them, you can create positive feelings, confident actions, and helpful habits. Small daily steps create big changes over time, and the techniques of positive self-talk, gratitude, visualization, and replacing negative thoughts are simple, practical ways to begin. Your mind is like a garden, and these techniques help you plant seeds that grow into confidence, success, and progress every day. Daily practices to train your mind. Training your mind is like training your body. If you practice small exercises every day, your mind becomes stronger, more positive, and more focused. Thoughts are habits, and just like any habit, they need regular practice to improve. The good news is that you do not need to spend hours each day. Small, simple routines can make a big difference if you do them consistently. These daily practices help you build positive thoughts, reduce negative thinking, and improve your learning, including English. A great way to start is with a morning routine. Your morning sets the tone for the whole day, so it is important to begin with helpful thoughts. When you wake up, take a few minutes to think about positive self-talk. For example, you can say to yourself, "Today, I will learn something new," or "I can do small steps every day to improve." You can also think of 3 things you are grateful for, like a friend, a sunny day, or your ability to learn. Finally, you can take a moment to visualize your day. Imagine yourself speaking English confidently, completing tasks, or feeling calm and happy. This morning routine takes only 5 or 10 minutes, but it gives your mind a strong start and prepares you to face the day with positive energy. Evening reflection is another important practice. Before you go to bed, spend a few minutes reviewing your day. Think about what went well, what you learned, and what you can improve tomorrow. For example, you might remember that you practiced English speaking with a friend, or that you read a new word in your book. Writing or thinking about even small progress helps your mind focus on success, not mistakes. You can also notice negative thoughts you had during the day and think about how you can replace them with positive ones tomorrow. Evening reflection is like planting seeds for tomorrow's positive thoughts and habits. Practical exercises for language learners are also very helpful for training your mind. One exercise is speaking aloud to yourself. Pick a short sentence in English like "I am learning every day" and repeat it 3 or 4 times in the morning. This helps your brain practice positive thoughts and your English at the same time. Another exercise is writing down positive experiences. Each day, write 1 sentence about something you learned or a small success. For example, "I understood a new English word today," or "I tried to speak English even when I was nervous." Writing down positive moments strengthens your mind and builds confidence. Another simple exercise is mindful breathing. Sit quietly for 1 or 2 minutes. Breathe slowly and focus on the present moment. While breathing, notice any thoughts that appear. If negative thoughts come, do not fight them. Simply notice them and gently bring your attention back to your breath. This practice helps you see your thoughts clearly and gives you control over which thoughts guide your actions. Mindful breathing also reduces stress, improves focus, and helps you stay calm while learning English. A final daily practice is small goal setting. Every morning, pick 1 small goal for the day, like learning 5 new words, reading a short English text, or speaking 1 sentence with a friend. When you complete the goal, even if it is small, your mind experiences success, which encourages positive thinking. Small, repeated goals create the habit of consistent action, and your mind begins to expect progress. By practicing these routines, morning positivity, evening reflection, speaking aloud, writing successes, mindful breathing, and small goal setting, you train your mind to focus on growth, confidence, and helpful thinking. Over time, these small practices become natural habits, and your thoughts, feelings, and actions all work together to support learning and progress. Remember that small steps every day are more powerful than big actions once in a while. Training your mind is a journey, not a race, and consistent practice builds strength, confidence, and positive habits that last a lifetime. Real-life stories help us understand ideas in a simple and clear way. They show how changing your thinking can change your life. In this part of the podcast, we will hear 2 short stories about people who changed their thoughts and saw positive results. These stories are simple, easy to remember, and full of lessons for all of us. The first story is about a young woman named Maya. Maya wanted to learn English, but she often thought, "I am not good at English. I will never speak well." Because of this thought, she avoided speaking in class and rarely practiced at home. One day, her teacher taught her about positive thinking and growth mindset. Maya decided to try changing her thoughts. Every morning, she told herself, "I am learning English a little every day. Mistakes help me improve." She also imagined herself speaking English with confidence. Slowly, she started speaking in class, reading English texts, and listening to podcasts. After a few months, Maya noticed that she could speak more clearly and understand more than before. The lesson from Maya's story is clear. Small changes in thinking repeated every day can create big improvements over time. The second story is about a young man named Alex. Alex wanted to get fit and exercise regularly, but he often thought, "I am too lazy. I will never enjoy exercising." This negative thinking stopped him from starting. One day he decided to try a small change. Instead of thinking about exercising for a long time, he thought, "I will walk for 10 minutes today. That is enough for now." He also told himself, "I am grateful for my body and the ability to move." After 10 minutes of walking, Alex felt happy and proud. The next day, he added a few more minutes. Over weeks, he built a habit of exercising every day. By changing his thoughts from "I can't" to "I can try," Alex created a positive routine. The lesson from Alex's story is that even small changes in thinking can lead to new habits and better results. Both stories show a common truth. Our thoughts shape our actions and our future. Maya and Alex did not change everything at once. They started with small, positive thoughts and repeated them consistently. Positive self-talk, gratitude, visualization, and simple actions help them create growth and confidence. These stories remind us that everyone can improve, no matter where they start, as long as they guide their thinking in a helpful direction. Remember, your mind is very powerful. Your thoughts can either hold you back or help you grow. By practicing positive thinking every day, even in small ways, you can create habits that lead to success, confidence, and progress in learning English and in life. Your story can be like Maya's or Alex's, full of growth, courage, and small victories that build into big achievements. Now that we have learned a lot in this episode of English Podcast, it is time to review the main points. Reviewing helps your mind remember the important ideas and makes it easier to apply them in daily life. In this episode, we talked about how your thoughts shape your feelings, actions, habits, and even your future. We also learned practical ways to change negative thoughts into positive ones and train your mind for growth. First, we talked about the idea, you become what you think. This means your thoughts influence how you feel, what you do, and what kind of habits you build. Positive thoughts help you grow, learn, and feel confident. Negative thoughts can hold you back, create fear, and stop progress. Understanding this connection is the first step to using your mind in a smart and helpful way. Next, we learned how thoughts shape feelings. Positive thoughts create feelings like happiness, motivation, and calmness. Negative thoughts create feelings like fear, sadness, and stress. We gave examples such as thinking I can do this versus I will fail. These thoughts can change your emotions in seconds. By noticing your feelings and linking them to your thoughts, you can begin to guide your emotions in a positive direction. We also discussed how thoughts shape actions and habits. Your thoughts guide your choices and behaviors. Repeated actions guided by repeated thoughts become habits. For example, thinking I can learn English encourages you to practice every day, and eventually, practice becomes a habit. On the other hand, negative thinking, like I cannot do this, may stop you from acting, creating habits that hold you back. This shows why training your thoughts is so important for building good habits. Then we explored types of thoughts that help us grow. Positive self-talk, a growth mindset, and hopeful, helpful thinking are all examples. Using these types of thoughts encourages confidence, learning, and small progress every day. We also learned about thoughts that stop us, such as negative self-talk, doubt, fear, and I can't thinking. Recognizing these thoughts is the first step to changing them. Once you notice them, you can practice replacing them with helpful thoughts. We also learned practical ways to change your thoughts. Techniques like positive self-talk, gratitude, visualization, and replacing negative thoughts help you guide your mind. For example, visualizing success before speaking English, practicing gratitude for small wins, and repeating positive sentences to yourself can slowly build confidence and new habits. Daily practice, even for a few minutes, strengthens these positive thought patterns. Finally, we shared daily exercises to train your mind. A morning routine with positive self-talk, gratitude, and visualization sets a good start for the day. Evening reflection helps review progress and replace negative thoughts. Speaking aloud, writing successes, mindful breathing, and setting small goals are easy exercises that help English learners and anyone wanting to improve. These small steps repeated every day make a big difference over time. We also told real-life stories about Maya and Alex. These stories showed how changing thoughts can create positive actions, build habits, and improve confidence. Even small, consistent changes in thinking can lead to big results. They remind us that anyone can improve if they guide their mind in a helpful direction. In short, this episode of English Podcast teaches that your thoughts are powerful. Positive thoughts create positive feelings, actions, and habits, while negative thoughts can hold you back. By practicing positive self-talk, gratitude, visualization, and replacing negative thoughts, you can train your mind to grow, improve, and achieve your goals. Small daily practices create big changes over time. Remember, your mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. The right thoughts will grow into confidence, success, and progress in learning English and in life. I want to encourage you, our listeners, to start small. Begin with one positive thought each morning, or write down one thing you are grateful for. Practice saying encouraging words to yourself like, I am learning and I am improving. Use visualization to imagine success even for a few minutes a day. And remember, every time you notice a negative thought, gently replace it with a helpful one. These simple steps repeated every day will slowly train your mind and build habits that support your growth. You will see small changes at first, but over weeks and months, these small changes grow into big improvements in learning English, confidence, and life. Thank you so much for listening to English Podcast. I hope this episode has given you useful ideas and practical tools to guide your thinking and train your mind. Remember, your thoughts are like seeds in a garden. Choose the seeds carefully, nurture them every day, and watch your mind grow into confidence, success, and happiness. Keep practicing. Stay patient with yourself and celebrate even small progress. I am very happy that you spent this time learning and listening. Keep these lessons in your mind and start applying them today. Your future self will thank you. This is your journey, and every positive thought you choose brings you closer to your goals. Thank you again for joining me today. Keep thinking positively, keep practicing English, and never forget that you have the power to shape your life with your thoughts. I hope to see you in the next episode of English Podcast. Goodbye for now, and take